Yo, I'm so furious. I just recorded an episode and I was recording on the fucking camera. Oh my God. And the time before that, I was recording the audio. Like, what the fuck, Tarek? Yo, this year's just been crazy, yo. I really do want to believe that I have been trying my hardest, but I'll be honest. I feel like I've been slacking. And here's why. It's because, like, last week I uploaded the wrong episode. I've been having a hard time figuring out what to talk about each and every week. It just gets more difficult. I want to do less work each week. So clearly, I have not been trying my hardest. And it shows. I remember a few weeks ago I said that I'm sure I'll be able to hide it and it won't be noticeable. But I was wrong. God, I'm so frustrated right now. Whatever. What's up, everyone? What's good? What it do? Let's start the year off on a more positive note, as a matter of fact. Nah, fuck that. Let us start on a more positive note. You make mistakes, Tarek. You will continue to make mistakes, and I understand that you hate making mistakes. I get it, but you will continue to do that. You will get burned out. You are human. You cannot continue to do everything by yourself for almost 2 years and expect you to not feel some kind of way in the realm of exhaustion. You need to remember that, bro. And I understand why it's so hard for you to accept that, but you ain't Superman, my guy. You have limitations. Even he has his kryptonite. So I really want you to look at this not as a god damn it type of experience, but as something to look back on and to reflect on. Because what needs to happen, sir, is that you need to reflect on what you're doing and what the next moves are. And this is what this episode is about, really. The reflection of the year 2021. This year for me wasn't the best, but it had its moments. And that's what I'm starting to think is more important to look at. Because honestly, y'all, I think we've gotten too used to, too comfortable with looking at the negative. The negative of the situation, the negative about our lives, the negative about the people around us. I think we've gotten too complacent with that thought process. So I'm trying to break that this year for 2022. I want to start looking at more of the positive stuff so that I can start figuring out how to actually do something if I can. Because if I'm in a negative mindset, then I'm not even going to want to think about how I can make something better or a solution that I can possibly come to. Because I'm not in that mind state for it. It's hard. It's definitely hard to stay in that mindset for sure. Like this whole Betty White situation. That sucks. They announced the whole 100th anniversary thing. It was going to be some grand thing. I was even looking forward to that shit. And then just out of nowhere, shorty dead. Like, wow. Now, you can look at that as 2021 sucked dick and it just wanted to take more from us than 2020. But I wouldn't look at it like this. I would look at it like maybe perhaps she used the last of her life force to spread and give to the rest of the world, like Jesus. Am I saying that Betty White is Jesus? No, calm down, Christians. But that is what I hope for. Because I really want to just start looking at stuff more positively. Is that ignorant? Is that naive? I don't know. I hope it's not, and I don't want it to be. I don't want us to get to a point in our lives, in society, where we believe that trying to look for the positive in things and the and the way that things can be improved or bettered, I don't want that to ever be looked at as something naive, because what's the alternative? What is the alternative? Believing in the negative more so. Does that do good for any of y'all? Do you like that? Just because you're used to thinking in that way, does that mean that it's beneficial for you? It's so annoying. There's a lot of things that I really wanted to talk about this year on the podcast, but I feel like I was too afraid to do that. So I wonder if maybe I should just start talking about all of that. But I know what's going to happen when I do. A lot of people who, quote unquote, supposedly were fans of what I did or my podcast before, probably not going to be now, because a lot of opinions that I have, y'all are not going to agree with. And I'm going to keep it 100. I don't think the majority of y'all motherfuckers even know how to have a conversation anymore. I think that you have this guise of wanting to accept, or I'm sorry, you wear this guise of acceptance. Like no judgments, that type of shit, which I also think is bullshit. But if someone doesn't agree with you on something that you believe is major, fuck whatever other philosophy that they have in their head or who they might be as a person. No, that one thing clearly tells you all you need to know about that person. I think that's garbage. I think that the internet has gotten us way too used to communicating with people online and not in person. And this whole discord is not conducive for progress in society. Truth be told, I really want to get a lot more people on this podcast so that we can have a conversation. However, I want y'all to understand something, and that's that the world owes you zero understanding or kindness. It is our job to put that out in the universe, into the world, but it is not owed to anyone. Number two, just because someone disagrees with you on something that you find fundamental for your belief systems does not necessarily mean that that person is that whatever you invented in their head. Because at the end of the day, just as much as you do that for other people, people do that to you. Now, would you like if, based off of something that you said, someone else was like, well, actually, I don't think I can fuck with you anymore because you think this one thing. Does that make sense? Are we that thought? Are we that one thought as human beings? It frustrates me because one thing I learned in 2021 is that the emotions have been playing more of a larger role in our discourse than the logic. And that frustrates me because why? See, here's the thing. I think it's stupid to believe that logic and emotion cannot intermingle. I think that's silly and asinine because to think logically when discussing humans or referring to humans, you need to think about the emotional side. That only makes sense because we're still emotional creatures. So why not figure out how to link the two, how to synchronize the two? Why not do that instead of believing that So let me get this straight. There's people out there that truly believe emotions should dictate how we move in society? That don't make sense to me. That makes zero sense to me at all. Because emotions, while important and necessary for us being human, we didn't get a society by just adhering to emotion. I have a question for y'all. Do y'all believe that we are courageous as an American society? Do you believe that we have courage as an American society? I only ask this because I really am seeing more of, and I include myself in this, mostly, I'm seeing more of people trying to skirt around other people's viewpoints to avoid confrontation and keeping their real thoughts inside. And before I go further with that thought, there are some things that you should keep to yourself. Absolutely. You should have the wherewithal to understand and read the room and be like, I probably shouldn't say that here. We all humans should keep a decent amount of shit just to themselves. There's things that no one needs to know about us. It's not that it's harmful. It's not that we're being malicious or anything. It's just that, you don't need to know about that, bro. So I ask if we are still courageous as an American society. Because I understand that the shit that we've done as a country for the past almost 300 years was certainly not, it wasn't morally righteous. It's not something to be looked at as an example upon unless you just don't care about other people and other cultures and all that stuff. But the principle and the idea that I believe America stands for is something that I still strive towards. I like the idea of the American dream, which in my head is I have the opportunity to make it in my own life. I have the opportunity, and there's nothing infringing on that. And I have the opportunity to make money, get a family, and enjoy life and just be chilling like how all humans want to be doing. You know what? This is what I'm doing in 2022. Less social media. As a matter of fact, I may need to start putting more money into marketing and to just getting other people to do some of this shit for me. Because I'm going to be honest, I don't want to be on social media anymore. I'm tired of arguing. I'm tired of debating. I'm tired of this idea that just because people have an opinion that I have to listen to it or that we should listen to it. Now, okay, that means, Tarek, your podcast, the things that you say in life, no one needs to listen to that. You just technically kind of believe that you have a point that might resonate with other people. Yes, but I don't argue with people. Even those who I disagree with, I don't like to argue with them. Number one, there's a reason why you believe what you believe. Number two, if you believe something so egregious that I just fundamentally cannot agree with that, more than likely, I probably wouldn't have you on the show, and I probably wouldn't talk to you in my daily life anyway, or I'll keep the communication as light as possible. But I'm not going to go out of my way to get you to try to realize why you're wrong. That's one thing I'm just sick and tired of. I don't want to do that anymore going forward in 2022. As a matter of fact, I don't even want to read comments where people are just disagreeing. I really need to stop doing that. I've noticed I've started doing that. You just start reading the comments. Does anybody else get on social media and you just start reading the comments between other motherfuckers and, you kind of third party eye watch the argument and all that stuff unfold? I need to stop doing that. I need to stop doing that because I waste so much time doing that. And for what? I don't learn anything. We're all really just looking for the arguments that aid and prove our point of view to be correct. We're not reading those to look at another perspective and be like, maybe I should rethink the way I think that. We're not doing that. We're only looking at that stuff because it gets us emotionally riled up. And that's the thing. Emotions are important, but we as humans, we're the only animal species that uses tools and that has created a society to this extent that we know of, at least. We have an obligation then. We have an obligation to not just be emotional. We understand that emotions play a role, yes, an important role, absolutely. But we should not let them dictate a majority of our reactions, behaviors, responses, things like that. We shouldn't do that because it doesn't gleam anything for us. I defy somebody to come and say, "Oh yeah, I've been living my life purely by my emotions and everything has been swell." I highly doubt that. There's moments where we need to be emotional and there's moments where we need logic. But as a human society, going forward, I really do believe that we should focus on logic. And that does not mean that logic and emotion cannot intermingle. I think it's really silly to believe otherwise. Why do people believe that you can't have logic and emotion or emotion with logic? We are humans. We are complicated. We are multi-layered. Of course, we can try to find a way to mitigate or at least start trying to do both. You understand what I'm saying? All I'm saying, y'all, is that we have a lot of work to do. And I'm just getting frustrated. I'm getting frustrated because I believe that we could do better. And I'm also tired of people who just don't like, why is there so many memes or posts shared about the end of days and things like that, but no one ever wants to share about something that we could possibly do to mitigate it? Do none of y'all have children? Do none of y'all have nieces, nephews, cousins, younger people in your family that you want to enjoy the earth as well? Because if you thought that the earth was just gonna end and there's nothing we could do about it, shit's just going to shit and that's it, why the hell did you have children if you had children? And if you didn't have children, then I'm gonna be honest, why are you still here? Why are you still around living, taking up space? If you don't think that there's anything that we can do about it, we're all just gonna die and this is the end and that type of stuff. I don't understand that. Please explain that to me. Because if you don't want to kill yourself yet, you just believe that death awaits us all. Speed up the process. I wonder, y'all, how much raw I should get on this podcast. And I'm not talking profanity. By the way, to the people who say that I curse too much on this show, number one, you don't have to listen. Number two, I don't think I curse too much for you to not understand what I'm saying. Honestly, profanity for me is actually kind of like it's like seasoning. No, it's a sentence enhancer. You feel me? Shout out to those of y'all who get that reference. But nah, for real, I'm tired of thinking about gloom and doom. With the pandemic and everything else going on, I'm tired of it. Because if you the type of person that doesn't think that we can do anything about it, then do me a favor and bounce. Because why are you here? If you ain't here to help the situation, you just making it worse. I will say that again. If you ain't here to help the situation, you just making it worse. That also means in humanity. That doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to be able to solve everyone's problems or things like that. But no, we can at least try. It's the mindset of trying to look for a solution versus the mindset of complacency and there's nothing I can do about it. I hate that mindset. I really do. And the next person who says that it's not that easy, just be quiet. Just be quiet. Unless you spent years and years and years actively trying to do something to change stuff, then I don't want to hear anything. And if you have and you still believe that there's nothing that we can do and the world is going to shit, then all right, bet. Start with yourself. Start with your loved ones. If that's the case, okay. I'm not encouraging anybody to murder. I don't want to say that. But I'm just saying that if you're not here to help, what are you doing? Honestly, what are you doing? Because I have friends and family that have children. Children which I'd love to see enjoy a beautiful, luscious earth like we got to when we was growing up. It's not fair. Especially if we're going to keep on making children, that we have an obligation. But that also means that we have an obligation to each other as a society. Listen, y'all, I'm going to break it down for you. There's no way to progress society to a point where everyone is going to be satisfied. There will always be pockets and groups of people that aren't happy with the outcome. What do we do about that? Do we look at the people as a whole? Do we look at the people as an individual, as small groups? Because I'm not sure. I'd like to think of all humanity as a whole, but we think different. We look at life differently. We go about life differently. So we need to take that into consideration. How can we, with as different as we think as human beings, still come together and say, you know what, for the most part, this is what we want society to look like. And I think we start by basic human stuff. Like, I'm talking baby level. If you were to take something away from a baby that I really, really liked and it started to cry, don't do that. I bet. Anything that you really want to do to a baby, I'm going to say that's the base point to start with. You feel me? Because we all, at the end of the day, I really do believe, except for obviously the ones. Oh, you know what? No. I'm going to stop doing that for next year. I'm going to stop doing that. Because we all know that in everything that I say, that you say, that anyone says, there's always exceptions to that rule or that statement. There will always be mitigating factors, exigent circumstances, things like that. Rare oddities, whatever. So I do not believe that it is necessary to always remind you that this doesn't apply to everyone. No shit. Of course, what I'm saying doesn't apply to everyone. It applies to the people it applies to, and no more. That's it. So that's another thing that's been freaking bothering me. But whatever. What was I saying? I forgot. I'm drunk, y'all. This is actually take number 3. So this is beer number 2, but it's a 7.5 and I've been taking shots. So I am toasty right now. Not gonna lie. I bet, Mr. Toast Man. If that's the case, bro, then let's finish off with a bang. This is how I want to move forward. Oh, by the way. Oh, no. I'll say it at the end. This is how I want to move forward. This is how I want to move forward with 2022. Number 1, I do foresee myself bringing the podcast down to once a month. And for my fans, for the few people who actually really like my shit, I do apologize, but I will make it a bit longer. I'll make each episode around 30 minutes at the very least. I'll try to do that for you, just because I know that I have been doing it every week and I want to maintain that consistency. But truth be told, there's so many other things that I want to do instead of just focusing on this podcast, honestly. And I don't want to wait a possible bunch of years for something to maybe possibly pop off and then I have the time to get back into the stuff that I want to do now. No, I want to do it now. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to do the things that I want to do. This podcast was fun doing every week, difficult and challenging. But moving forward, after my hiatus, more than likely going down to once a month, upping the quality of the audio and video production. But also, I'll let you know how I feel at the end of my break, because I could possibly change my mind. Number 2, there may be more raw episodes on this podcast because I am kind of tired of talking about stuff that I kind of only halfly care about. I really want to start talking about things that I deeply have a passion for or want to discuss. I think that I'm going to stop giving as much of a damn of people's opinions as well. Because honestly, y'all don't even listen to my stuff anyway, so why should I care? The audience there will always be an audience. There will always be an audience. If I consistently put out stuff and work on stuff, there will always be someone out there who will be willing to listen. I do truly believe that. So, that doesn't sound like it's a good thing, though. It sounds like you're going to just start, the next time you're going to come in, you're going to have a Confederate flag and a fucking, you know what I'm saying? wearing the white hood or some shit. Like, no, it's not like something terrible. It's just that I think I might start using this podcast to get a little more raw, maybe. Who knows? This is all, honestly, this is all predicated on my break. When I take my little 6 to 8 week break, I am going to I'm going to use that time to really figure out what it is that I want to do. But by the way, to the homegirl who because I found out one of the people who listen to my podcast actually listen to it while they sleep. And to that homegirl, I say thank you. I will make an episode dedicated specifically to you because I appreciate that. Seriously, thank you. And to everyone else out there, I thank you all for listening. Because, there's no reason to get on an extra tirade. Going forward, I'm going to do better at trying to be more of myself. I'm going to do better at doing that because I like being me. Flaws and all, I enjoy it. And the only way for me to figure out who really fucks with me is to be more and to become more of myself. So I'm going to do that. The opinions of y'all be damned. Because if I don't make money doing this, I bet that I don't. But at the end of the day, y'all can never say that I'm here to be malicious, that I have ill intent, or that I don't come in good faith. Because all I want for my life, number one, just to be chilling. And when I say chilling, I mean having fun, doing the things that I want to do, which aren't too expensive, and being able to see my friends and family, hang out with them, and go around and meet different people and just enjoy my life. I just want to be chilling. And for the rest of humanity, I just want that too. I want as many people as possible to be able to, there was this community that I didn't live in. There was this community that I went to when I was a Jehovah's Witness. And it was in this Amish town. And it was a group of these cats. And they lived in the same vicinity of each other. They didn't lock doors. They had all the trust in the world. They would just go into other people's homes and be like, hey, I need this, blah, blah, blah. And it would just be, just like some communal thing. That requires a level of chilling. You need to be chilling in your mindset to even be like, oh, I can trust these people enough to let them in my home or to go into their home, that type of stuff. That's that community right there, that bond, that trust. That's what I want for the entire world, or for as many people in the world as possible. That's what I want, because I don't want us to have to worry about the other person walking down the street. Will they hurt us? Will something happen? I don't want us to have to worry about that. I really don't. So that's why I want to do what I do. Maybe I won't change anything, y'all. Maybe I won't. But this is what I want to do going forward. And I can't be doing that if I'm not myself. So I'm going to try to be more of myself. Try to have more courage and go into 2022 guns blazing. Or something. I don't know, y'all. I'm kind of talking out my ass right now because there's just so many things going through my brain right now that I'm not even sure how to address it. But once I take my break, I'll be able to. By the way, what is the next few words in the phrase? The next word is tool. See, I used that word earlier, And I didn't realize, next time I do this, I think I'll hint at the words each time. Yeah. Ooh, I just came up with an idea, y'all. Yeah, the next word in the phrase is tool. So, for those of y'all who have been listening, I'm gonna give y'all a little cheat sheet for up until now. Actually, no, I won't. I will not, because then you'll just go to this episode. You won't listen to the other episodes to get the words. So the next word is tool in the phrase. And remember, that phrase is the one that will get you your little gift from Just Jiving. So thank you all out there for listening. I appreciate your time, your presence, and your existence. Remember, talk to your loved ones in person. Communicate in person. Texting is basic bitch level communication, and we need to express that personality in person. You feel me? That's the only way that we can get our humanity out to each other. I really do believe that. We got to talk. We got to see it in person. That's why I say what I say. And remember to enjoy the game that is life. Stay striving. Keep it jiving. And we'll catch y'all beautiful motherfuckers here next week for another episode. Happy New Year. And until then, deuces.
Been a little too nice to y'all. Now I gotta up price on y'all. Snake eyes on dice for y'all. Shoulders on ice for y'all. 8-6 all the hate. I won't get involved today. Got lost in the ball and A's. I'm flipping the bars. I'm flipping the. On record, off record. I still count wins when they doubt it. On record, off record. I let them take advantage. I was wildin'. On record, off record deals. Tell them talk to Colin for the quote. On record, off record. I still want to act, not the ghost. For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you. For the record, lab on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to make no time to waste.